Hello, everyone. On the 9th of February, there's going to be an Aquarius new moon. And new moons are about new beginnings and fresh starts. And maybe Aquarius is the most energy pattern, not the sharpest, but the most emphasized energy pattern of renewal. Which is funny because I know that in many astrological schools, they make an equation between Aquarius, the 11th house, and Uranus. And no, they are not equal because houses simply mean spheres of life. Planets are archetypes, and signs are energy patterns. And if you look at the year, the how the year unfolds, then you can notice that really usually the coldest period is Aquarius, fixed air, and it's relevant because if you consider how during this period of the winter, which is the dead of the winter, you cannot do nothing really. I mean, yes, now with our houses heated or, with food everywhere, it's different. But like 500 years ago, this is when we went dormant. We went to sleep and we didn't do really too much. We tried to somehow survive this period. And all you really have is frozen air. Even air is frozen. And if you consider the three air signs, then Gemini is where you learn how to pick information and how to exchange information. In Libra, you learn to make friends, you learn to make acquaintances, you interact with people, and in Aquarius, you make theories. So that's the highest manifestation of air, which is a cerebral energy, and this is what's happening in this particular new moon, which is where we can actually create life-altering ideas. The problem with Aquarius is precisely this. It is really so far away from everyday life. There's no potential for everyday life. There's nothing out there, just cold and frost and ice, that usually people who have an Aquarian inclination, they always know better. They always know what's good for the society. They are sometimes light years away from the ordinary people. They have visions. They are visionaries. The problem with these visions is the most important problem is that they have nothing to do with reality. And they are so far-fetched and so crazy that if we wanted to really create them in everyday life, we would die probably. But this doesn't divert Aquarians from trying to push us towards those ideas. And if you look around, this is the craziness you see, like with artificial meat, ranging from artificial meat to gender dysphoria, pushing for kids. It's really ridiculous. It's frightening, let's put it this way. It's really scary. So anyhow, this is the new moon. Let's take a look at the new moon. Wait a second. Sorry, Okay, so as you can see, it is very late on the 9th. It's at almost 11 o'clock, 1 minute before 11 o'clock. And this is the London chart. I forgot to, oh yeah, there's London there, right? Okay, so what is interesting, what the highlights are in this particular chart, and if you take the London chart, it really is valid because it's the capital. It is valid for the UK as such. And you have a Libra rising, which is nice. The problem is that you have Aries on the descendant. And to tell you a nice piece of news, you guys are effectively in the Russian-Ukrainian war. You meddled, you English. I mean, your prime ministers, in plural, and all the officials meddled in this war. In so many forms that you are actually part of this, and your government is spending a lot of money on the lost cause of Ukraine simply because then they will have a piece of the pie of the rebuilding and also of confiscating assets of Ukrainians. So it's really dirty and very, very dishonest, but that's it. And this is what you see in the chart because you have Aries, drastically altered outward circumstances, among them war, of course, on your descendant. the point of your enemy, and of course the spouse as well. And you have Uranus at the midpoint point of Jupiter's Sedna, which is nice, but the vertex, the point of no free will, is also on Uranus. So it seems like the whole country is really getting closer and closer to this war energy that we are experiencing, which I did not include because it's not really a perfect mystic rectangle, because Sedna is still in Taurus, and the DMC is at 2 degrees, a little bit over 2 degrees Leo, and then you have Pallas Athena at 1 degree Sagittarius, and the IC in Aquarius. But yes, there is sort of a mystic rectangle as well, just to draw your attention here, which as I said, I did not include into the discussion. And the Chiron North Node conjunction is applying. It's still another 10 days before they actually get exactly conjunct. And Pluto and Mars is on, those are on the IC. Mars is in an applying conjunction with Pluto. There's another, again, 8-10 days, maybe a little bit less before they get conjunct. And of course, the sun, moon, and the new moon. So that's practically the London chart. And there is a complex planetary picture, which is a little bit wide for my taste, but it's still okay because, as you can see, Juno is still at 19 degrees, so is Uranus. Vesta and Venus are at 21, 22 degrees, and the sun moon is at 20 and a half degrees, something like that. So it's kind of okay, but a little bit tight. What is in this complex planetary picture? It could have been a tense trapeze had we had this non-closing semi-sextile between Uranus and Vesta, but we don't have it. So actually, this is simply a ground trine. Did I put there ground trine? Yes, Earth ground trine. Here it is. There's an Earth ground trine and 2 engines, and those are intertwined. The Earth Grand Trine is beautiful because, first of all, trines are very lazy patterns, and so are Grand Trines. When you have three lazy patterns within a really, really lazy pattern. But at the same time, Earth is utilizable among the 4 potentials: air, water, earth, and fire. Fire is the least usable of the ground trines, but Earth is the best usable because actually it is giving you common sense and groundedness and practicality. And in this case, it is Juno, Uranus, and Venus. Venus-Uranus aspects are translated into the dilemmas of commitment and freedom. But at the same time, this is a trine. So actually, it enables you to remain relatively free in a committed relationship. So is the Juno-Uranus corner of this. And Venus-Juno is usually, they represent 2 mutually exclusive archetypes at first glance, because Venus is the lover and Juno is the first lady, the wife. So actually they usually clash, but this particular new moon gives you the potential to reconcile these 2 sides, because yes, if you are a wife, you need to be a lover as well within your relationship. And if you are a lover only, and of course, then you long to become a wife. Don't even try to hide it, because it's true. And Uranus gives you this renewal energy. Yeah. It is also the someone who is like a revolutionary or something like that. So it's the anarchist, but at the same time, the renewal is the key. And as for the 2 engines, there's a fixed Earth engine with the Sun, Moon, Uranus, and Juno. The Sun, Moon, Uranus square is the one that is really a little bit disrupting. So this new moon is questioned, disrupted by its own ruler. And it's a fixed square, and this is what's happening throughout Europe. If you look around, craziness and idiocy prevail, and they're trying to disrupt the livelihood of peasants and of people who live from agriculture. And here's the issue: the reason why they want to do it for two things. First of all, they think that then they can sell us their horrible, idiotic technologies, like let's eating worms and fake meat and things like that. So they really want to get into our food chain, so to speak. But the other issue is a lot more important, because those who live in the country and those who live together with Earth, with the plants, with the animals, and who tend for the animals and care for the animals, they know nature much better than people in the big cities. And usually the idiotic ideas and theories are born in big cities, whose people where the population doesn't even know what nature is. So the biggest challenge to the new ideas are the peasants, are the people who care for themselves and know how to feed themselves. So that's why you see those ever tightening, horrible ideas. And the problem here is that on the one hand, they are trying to suffocate and kill European farmers, but on the other hand, they allow horrible things from the other parts of the world without even checking them, without even paying attention what's in there, what kind of GMO stuff or poisonous stuff is in there. So that's the problem. This is what you see in this square by Uranus to the new moon, that right now ideas are clashing and theories are clashing, and no one knows yet. Hopefully common sense will win. And the saving grace here is the Juno Uranus trine, the Earth trine. Go back to the Earth and be with it. I mean, try to be the partner of the Earth, really, and not some sort of usurper. And the other one, the other engine is a mutable air engine involving, again, the Sun, Moon, Trine, Vesta, and Juno. And again, you have two feminine archetypes here at the first glance that are mutually unreconcilable, because Vesta is the high priestess and Juno is the wife, the first lady. And you are either a priestess or a spouse. But at the same time, Vesta is also the focusing principle. And of course, this is a mutable square. So it means that the moment we are getting married, or we are in a secure marriage, we forget about focusing on our partner and focusing on the marriage itself. Whereas it would be much happier for everyone if we did that. And Vesta Juno is about that. Focus on your partner, on your relationship during this period, during this new moon period. Let's take a look at the transcendental celestial objects. And the Sun, Moon, again, by the way, about color coding for just a couple of minutes or seconds, really. You might by now know that magenta means asteroids, and asteroids are the personal karmic level. And we don't have TNOs and centaurs at the moment relevant in this chart, but usually those are made of, I mean, I color coded them in blue, and they describe our karmic wounds and what we can actually do with them, about, how we either develop them into a phobia or actually unique traits. And then red are fixed stars. Those are higher dimensional worlds, not within the solar system. And actually, I forgot to tell you this, that we could have had a tense trapeze here with Juno, Sun, Moon, Uranus, and Vesta, but it's not closing because the semi-sextile is not happening between Vesta and Uranus. It's too wide. It's more than 32 degrees, 33, almost 33 degrees. Okay, here we are. So again, we only have in this chart, we only have asteroids and fixed stars, which are higher dimensional entities or words. On the Sun, Moon, you have Nefertiti, the pharaoh, the female pharaoh, okay, Ashurbanipal, another Middle Eastern king, okay, he was a Babylonian king, and his castle burnt down together with his library with 80,000 tablets, clay tablets, 80,000. Imagine that. Cupido, okay, who is the little puffy little angel who is shooting arrows, and then we are turning into idiots because we have fallen in love. Orpheus, the person who lost his wife and is he wants to gain her back somehow, so he goes down to the underworld, but of course is unable to bring her back. Or and Valhalla, which is the which is a big room where the gods are conversing and having all kinds of meetings. So the meeting place of gods. And on Venus, you have Demeter, Xerxes, Akhenaton, and Gratia. So again, a mother goddess, a fighter, a pharaoh, and grace. And on Vesta, we have 4 bright stars. These degrees, the 22nd till 24th degree of Gemini, is really star-studded. There are 8 or 9 really bright stars. I'm going to show you where they are. In this case, we have Capella, which is Alpha Auriga, Bellatrix, Vacht, and Mintaka. Capella, Alpha Auriga, is the 3rd station of suicide victims, where we learn to move again, where we learn to enjoy life again. And Bellatrix is the gamma star of Orion. It is the western shoulder of Orion, and it gives you the idea how to be successful from the shadow. So when you don't need to push yourself into the forefront, you can be very, very successful working from behind. Vacht is Alpha Columba, so it's the dove star, and the dove represents peace. And Mintaka is one of the belt stars of Orion. It is on the celestial equator, suggesting divine balance. You know what? I'm going to show you this. We're going to do this in this order. So here's Vesta at 21 degrees 45 Gemini. Here's Capella, Alpha Auriga, up north. And down south is Vacht. You can never watch Vacht from the northern hemisphere. It's really down there. And Bellatrix is below the ecliptic, and Mintaka is spot on the celestial equator. And all are around 21, 22 degrees Gemini. So that is why we can't say a planet or a celestial object is conjunct a star, because it might or might not be conjunct actually. Nothing can be conjunct Capella or Vacht, nothing. So that's something you need to remember. And here is Uranus and its midpoints. Of course, the new moon ruler is Uranus. And as you can see, first of all, it is on the Jupiter Sedna midpoint. So how can you renew yourself? How can you renew your ideas? How can you have a fresh start? How can you create ideas and theories that are helping you in your next phase of life? By hoping to rearrange stuff that is not working in your life. Sadhana is creation through dissection, so you can do away whatever is obstructing you. How? Jupiter, by believing in it, by doing it in an enthusiastic way. Chiron Vesta is about focus on your karmic wounds and healing. Vesta North Node is about focus on your destiny choices. And in the London chart, we also have midheaven Sedna, Saturn. In the Budapest chart, we had something else, interestingly enough. Midheaven is your future goals and aspirations and your vocation. And Saturn is about creating a stable grounding, a base for your future goals. So this is what you can do in with this particular new moon in Aquarius. Happy new moon, and thank you for listening, and try to utilize these energies at your best.